So this 7 tuners is the Subaru STi TS Type RA. This is the last hurrah for the Impreza, the 3rd gen Impreza. I'm just going to take you for a quick walk around. I'm up here in Takao. Some amazing roads up here. Just found a nice little enclave where I could take a bit of a break and go for a quick walk around. Tangerine Orange is the colour. It's actually a factory colour for other cars like the VX. It's okay, it's a pastel orange. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It could be a little bit brighter, but it's not a bad looking thing. So the main difference between this and the previous model, like the S206 and the R205, comes down to a few suspension modifications. Tyres between the R205 and the Type RA are the same, Bridgestone RE070s with 6-pot calipers on the front, and at the rear 4 pots on the back as well. Those tyres are phenomenal. They offer amazing amounts of grip. Very hard to get the car unsettled. Very good car point to point and squirt, and you're arriving at the next corner quite quickly. A lot of people have their doubts about the wing. I quite like it. It's an optional carbon item that comes as part of the challenge pack. This is an NBR challenge pack. Subaru's making 300 of these. 200 of them are in the NBR challenge specification. Basically NBR is a couple of little things like the wheels, the wing. The side steps there are an optional item. It's another $500 or $600 there, I think. Plus this particular colour. It's a special edition colour. Let's look at the profile on the R070s. So on the shoulders there you've got huge amounts, so when you're leaning on them through the corners, there's just so much grip available. 326 horsepower, developing about 45 kilograms of torque. So it's quite a powerful car. And balancing that out with the weight, it's just, I mean, it's a great all-rounder. Just dive inside the car here, open that up so you can have a look. Subaru's interior for the 3rd gen is becoming quite dated. Does need a refresh, and as you can see, it's very hard plasticky materials in here. They've cut corners when it comes to interior, except for the seats. For example, the Recaro semi-buckets, which are extremely supportive. Not many, basically rake and height adjustable, and that's basically it. Inside, it's pretty much standard fare. No plaque on this particular car. Usually Subaru has a bit of a plaque there to specify which number of car this is out of the 300 they make. You've got your, obviously the same switches that the previous STIs come with, center diff override, plus your different maps. I don't really see any point using anything but Sport Sharp, to be honest with you. Great gearbox, that's ubiquitous with a Subaru. Fantastic throw, extremely precise. But the diff, I mean, one way you can actually change the characteristics of the car is by playing with the diff there. I've got it set 2 clicks towards the rear, if you can see that there. So that is quite useful. Obviously in tricky conditions you'll be locking the diff. Yeah, pretty basic inside the car, nothing too spectacular. The rear wing is carbon. As I said, that's part of the challenge pack. So yeah, this is the last hurrah. Everything else is pretty much as STI specified in their S206, but the flexible draw stiffeners and the flexible tower strut bar are unique items for this particular car. There's a lot of bracing underneath the body and you can feel it. The dampers have also been slightly changed. They've been retuned, and on the Nürburgring. There's 2 choices of wheels, the BBS there, the forged BBS 18s. But there's another mesh type that they also made. Just pop this up. So that's the engine there. Nothing spectacular. Subaru don't make the most beautiful engines in the world, but there's nothing short on performance under the hood. And there's the flexible drawer, strut power bar there. It's hard for me to show you what's underneath the car suspension-wise, but I'll slice in a couple of photos so you can see what kind of parts they've put into it, because it's been quite heavily modified suspension-wise. And just a few little pieces of garnish there, the front under spoiler, side steps. Other colours are blue, comes in WR blue, of course. And well, it's a fantastic car. Conditions are perfect today. We haven't had a day like this. We had the typhoon the last couple of days, but that's rolled past and has given me some perfect conditions to test the car in. So that's pretty much the walk around for the car. You'll never be able to get these outside the country. They are a Japanese only creation, as a lot of STIs are. The S206, 5 and 4, all of them back to the 2, 3 and 2. All the S models have been Japanese only editions, which is a shame because I think these cars would sell quite well internationally, but don't blame Subaru for that. Blame your local authorities with their smog, EPA testing and whatnot. That tends to restrict what comes into the country. So domestically, if you're in Japan, I think these are sold out actually, but great car, excellent driver's car. It's very torquey. It produces most of its power through between 3,000 and 5,000 RPM, where after that it becomes a little bit breathless. Just give it a bit of a rev. So the exhaust note is obviously pretty sedated. That would change with an aftermarket part. So it's very, I guess you could say, tinny. Doesn't have that boxer throb to it, which is a bit of a shame, but again, that can be changed with the aftermarket side of things. Fuel economy is not this engine's strong point. I've done 54 kilometers and I've gone through almost half a tank, which is pretty bad, averaging 5.6 kilometers per litre, which is, when you put it into comparison with a V8 or a V10 twin turbo M5, for example, that I tested recently, I was getting better figures than that. And this is half the cylinders and one less turbo. So it's not its strongest point, but fuel economy has never been Subaru's speciality. Outright performance has been. So they've kept it pure. It's a very quick car point to point. I mean, if I was going to give it a score, I'd be inclined to say it's close to an 8, maybe an 8.5. Unfortunately, you'll have to come here if you want to get one, or be in a unique position where you're able to import into your own country. And then again, you'll have to find one on the market going for about 5 million yen, which is about $50,000 US or Australian, depending on where you are, which is a lot of money when you think about it, considering the interior and you know, the bareness of the interior. Performance-wise, yes, it's fantastic. Diff, I mean, the drivetrain, brakes, suspension, wheels, the tyres, the engine, all phenomenal. But you know, we're looking at a very dated body now, and you know, $55,000, a big chunk of change, especially when you add the little garnishes into it, little extra add-ons, like the side skirts, for example. It does add up quite quickly. Anyway, that's my quick walk around of the STi Type RA TS Subaru Impreza. It's quite a mouthful. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Click to subscribe if you'd like to see more of these. This has been Adam Zillan from 7Tune, and thanks for watching.